Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. I'm so glad that you have joined me. The few that are here already. Today's Monday. It is July 10th. Oh, and I just wiped everything off my whiteboard. Oh well. It happens. It's Monday. It's the start of the week. As you can probably tell in the window, out the window behind me, it has been like, the past 3 days have been like living in a cloud. Really, literally, like living in a cloud. And it's been raining in insane ways. And my silly little city that I grew up in actually scheduled fireworks for this past Saturday, and I was incredulous. I happened to see a video of the fireworks from Saturday. I don't know why they did it. I don't know what they were thinking. What a waste. That you couldn't see them. I didn't even attempt it. And I was driving home that night, Saturday night, and it was like the thickest fog I've ever driven in. So, just making the point that the weather is really freaking weird. Today the energy has been just collectively, just picking up on the collective energy. The energy today has been very, a lot of fear, a lot of intense stress. I'm just picking up on the collective. I'm not talking about me. So just everyone kind of like hold the space of being peaceful, because there's a lot of stress out there. I'm holding in my heart and prayers the people in New York who have been flooded. One woman drowned, I think, with her dog, and Vermont. I mean, people are losing everything. So please take a little time and send some peaceful energy to the New England and the Northeast area. Nobody will be unscathed from global climate change. There's not anybody. I might have to go grab Betty behind me. There's not anybody on planet Earth that will escape global climate change. We are in it. Flooded Connecticut. There it is. I mean, I really, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We're okay here where I am. I don't know. It was the power of prayer. I don't know. So, as I mentioned before, 6 inches of rain. I can't even talk, in 5 hours. I know, it's unbelievable. So much rain. Spain is having floods. This was all predicted. Not by psychics. Well, maybe by some psychics, but by scientists. Can you hear the seagulls? They're going crazy right now. I'm gonna grab Betty. I'm gonna grab Betty the bunny, because we need Betty right now. Hotter than Hades in Arizona. I don't even have my fan on. Hang on a second. There it is. We're gonna grab Betty, because we need Betty. Okay. As you may know, I have shortened my videos, so we're not going to be here for an hour and a half. We're going to be here for less than, I don't know. We're going to be here for less time, which is why I have I'm going to flip it as soon as we start reading. Yeah, Betty, it's scary out there. We need Betty. We need our little stuffed animals. This is my service bunny. Isn't that what they call the therapy dogs? This is my service bunny. She's very low maintenance. Betty said she loves Betty. We love Betty. Okay, so we'll keep her right there. When we feel like we're getting a little too stressed, we'll just look at Betty in her peaceful expression. And this is the timer. somebody's mentioning something that got overlooked. It's in the news apparently. Appears to a concern. Seaford, Delaware, now businesses can vote like one proposition. You're gonna have to write to me about that. I can't really follow what that is. I should give Betty a service vest. I know, that's a good idea. I have my St. Padre Pio blanket that says pray. I have all the comfort items. Pray, hope, don't worry. My friend Rena is watching. She gave me that. Her mom passed and her mom was really into St. Padre Pio. So Betty's here to calm us down. Anyway, I'm wasting time. I need to get into the reading. The reason I have shortened my videos is because people weren't, not everybody, but my numbers were going down and I needed to make some changes. So here we go. We're going to start with the Supreme Court. Oh, Betty's been here the whole time, but sometimes you can't see her on the shelf. Depends on how I move my chair and stuff. LLCs can now vote like an individual. Well, can you please send me information about that? Annette Dion 7@gmail.com. If you ever need to send me more information about something that you want me to read on, I will do it. Okay, so, oh, by the way, I had fun with Denise and Lisa on Saturday. I jumped in on their 1 hour show. They invited me and that was, thanks Sue. She's going to send me that info. We had a lot of fun. It's always really fun to be with other psychics, so, you know, because we're all kind of pulling from the same source and it's good. I'm going to read first on the Supreme Court. So, I'm going to do my best to focus. I see your questions, but it's a shorter show, so I have to really kind of ignore some of the questions. Sorry. Oh, nice. Padre. Sorry, I have to read this one. Patty D. Padre Pio relics are in Naperville, Illinois tomorrow at a church with a presentation and other things about him. How awesome. Maybe I can get a video of that. You didn't get a notice for the collab. I didn't. It's my fault. I didn't figure it out ahead of time. The Supreme Court. Okay. The Supreme Court has tied America in knots. What I want to say about that is, you know, in so many areas in this country, we're in uncharted territory. We're in places where we never prepared to go. So the Two of Swords is indicative of that. We're in places that we were not prepared to go because this country was actually founded. The sin of slavery. I'm not talking about that. That is a sin. That's a terrible thing. That's a given. This country was founded on principles of people wanting to have a good country and wanting it to work for everybody and wanting cooperation. What the Supreme Court has done is pissed all over our United States Constitution, just to put it very bluntly. The Two of Swords is we're in uncharted territory as a country, so we're not really sure as a collective country, government, how to move forward. They have no ethics checks. And they have no ethics. Clarence Thomas, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you just have to kind of take deep breaths and like, just, if this helps, just know that in the afterlife it can't possibly be very pleasant for them. Neil Gorsuch, I mean, Alito, I mean, it's just disgusting. The Ace of Rods means that as far as the Supreme Court goes, there will be some very strong arguments made for Clarence Thomas to step down. Yeah, I just saw that they were having a fundraiser in the court building. We're just going to begin to scratch the surface of holding the Supreme Court accountable for the corruption. The Knight of Cups. Alright, so get ready for, this is like Sheldon Whitehouse, get ready for moves to be made. I feel like it's a long-term situation for changes to be made on the Supreme Court. Yeah, we ain't seen nothing yet, it's true. Just in terms of action being taken, at least guidelines being put in place, open knowledge, open in your face corruption. What is concerning? I mean, I just want to give you my perspective on what's most concerning. Is it feels as though, even though this isn't the case, it feels as though all of a sudden, all at once, even though it's been incremental, it feels as though we have a segment of the population and politics included that have just said F you to laws and order, and with the Supreme Court, well, laws and constitution and order and ethics. And so when everybody, like, laws need to be, it's kind of a contract, right? It's kind of a contract. A law is kind of a contract. If you do this, it's unfair, and here are the rules, and if you break them, there'll be consequences. But what's happening is we're seeing consequences not happening. And the Supreme Court needing to have ethics, even though they thought that they would. When the Supreme Court was birthed, I'm sure it was all about, of course we'll do what's right. Hi Kathy. Quick hi, well it's a quick vid. And people, yeah, Amanda, I know, good point. People are accepting bad behavior as the new norm. Let's read on that. Some people think it's fun to break the rules. I'm not really talking about fun as much as I'm talking about if we all do it all at once, what can they do? And the DOJ is not adequately staffed. I'm not saying they can't do the job. Yeah, so Kathy, what I'm referring to is they think they're entitled to break the rules. Yes, SCOTUS definitely does. SCOTUS doesn't have enough rules. Lifetime appointments for judges is ridiculous. Absolutely. It used to work until it didn't. So what I'm going to read on is this going to be the norm? Because if this became the norm, yeah, that's got to stop, definitely. Theoretically speaking, if this became the norm, we would not be a democracy. Obviously, I'm stating the obvious. If it became the norm to just brazenly break the laws all the time and not be held accountable, or for it to take so long for accountability to come, and nobody followed the laws anymore, then we become a third world country. I'm not predicting that. I'm just spelling it all out because we're starting the week with spelling it all out, including the flooding. I'm going to pick 3 cards, and this is about, are we really just going to get used to it being normal to, oh, I just flipped, 2 cards flipped up by themselves. Will people just, it's kind of like the boiling frog, you know, that whole silly analogy. Doesn't notice. It's not like boiling a lobster where it happens really fast. We need to call them out, that's for sure. It's like, the question is it going to be like a slow boil where people just go, oh, that's just the way it is in general. That's just the way it is. People just break the laws, and that's just how it is, and we just have to accept it. Because that's where we are. Yeah, you know that story. The frog in the pot, if it's at a very low temperature, the frog just kind of goes to sleep and doesn't notice that it's just gone after a while. Sorry to be so morbid. It's just, everything's heavy today. Okay. Now, this is interesting because the question I'm asking is, Joan, you're right. Are we just going to become a nation of lawbreakers and people just get used to it? And there's going to be a turn of fortunes for those who are corrupt. The Six of Cups is coming up about America and what America really, really, really wants. And the Death card, there'll be an end to this. There will be an end to this lawlessness. And I have to laugh because I think of the term law and order, and I don't think about the TV show. When I think about the term law and order, I just remember Trump being up there during the Black Lives Matter protests, and he just kept saying, "I'm the president of law and order." I guess he said that a lot. Will there be consequences? Law and order. Yeah, right. Yeah, Trump, law and order. It's pathetic, I tell you. Will we be a nation of law and order? Yes, we will. Believe it or not, America has had enough. Enough, enough, enough. And, which reminds me that we've had enough. Reminds me of Trump, and it also reminds me of Casey DeSantis. I have to show you this. I just have to show this to you. Because I couldn't believe it. And I won't play the whole entire thing. But I will play some of this.
In America, we've witnessed a lot and put up with enough.
This is Casey DeSantis. This is Casey DeSantis.
We've been forced into silence.
It's very dark.
Into compliance. Told that we must trust the science.
Indoor and outdoor venues should be closed.
We've been told that we must deny truth, back down, and look the other way.
Pure evil. I agree.
Enough is enough. When you come after our kids, we fight back. Because there's nothing we won't do to protect our children. They're not yours.
These are our kids.
Our nation's children are all our
We will not allow you to exploit their innocence to advance your agenda. We are no longer silent. We are united. And we have finally found our fighter.
We're not going to let you impose an agenda on our kids. We're going to stand up for our kids.
For America, what he did for us in Florida. Schools open. Parents' rights defended. School choice universal. Critical race theory prohibited. DEI stopped. Child mutilation illegal. Girls' sports saved. Communities protected. Our economy growing. And freedom guaranteed. But winning the fight in Florida is just the beginning. We must protect parents' rights and the innocence of our children. We must restore sanity in our society. We need every mama and every grandmama in every corner of the country to stand up and fight back by electing Ron DeSantis President of the United States of America. Join us by texting mamas to 512345.
Why am I not reading cards? Because I think that we all need to see that. I am reading cards, but I think we all need to see that. Because everything there was making a mockery out of motherhood, out of public health and safety, out of treating people with love and respect. And it's the total projection of what they are doing. That was fascism. And I needed to show that to you. I don't know why I needed to show that to you, but I needed to show that to you. Because I do want us to understand that they're not going to win. But I want you to understand that everything that she said that the Democrats do is what they're doing. They're saying we have to protect the children from the Democrats when they're the ones that are being fascists on the school boards, for instance. So anyway, let's read on to fascist. Told you he'd be done in August. Let's take a look. The air is heavy today. We're gonna be okay. This is like, my sign. I have flowers here. We give thanks that darkness reminds us of light. That commercial, somebody's asking what that commercial is really about. It's about fascism. It's the most fascist commercial I've ever seen in America. That is a first. There's no, if you want a definition of what it is, there it is. And it's what Russia does. So we're going to read on them right now. And I apologize that I took all that time to show you the Casey DeSantis ad, but it is important. It is important. We cannot pretend this is not happening. He invalidated driver's licenses from 5 states. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Anyway, this is about Ron DeFascist. The world is watching, and the world actually is horrified because the world knows what fascism is way more than Americans do. Yeah, we need to call a fascist a fascist. That's exactly. Thank you, Kim. Because somebody said, why are you not reading cards? Because I was showing you the Casey DeSantis commercial. It's fine. It's all good. The world is watching. Yeah, it was like a dystopian movie. It's extremely dystopian, and we really do need to call it out. And I'm done with feeling like oh, I should be more, I don't know. Creative rods. Yeah, quickly. They're running out of money. The DeSantises are running out of money. And there's a quick, the 8 of rods indicates fast moving energy. The world, believe it or not, there are enough people in this country who have escaped fascism and dictatorships that, and even it's just a couple of generations removed, right? Like your great grandparents may have been in Italy during Mussolini's time, for example. Right? Or your grandparents, it depends on how old you are. Yeah, the commercial made you ill, but we have to see it. Vermont license is no longer valid in Florida. Yeah, Florida's, it's not going to last, but Florida's becoming a fascist state. And by the way, Rick Scott had a commercial a little while back in which he was threatening people that if you're liberal, don't come to Florida if you value your life. I'm not joking, people. That's why we talk about these things here. We have a hero, President Biden. We'll get to him in a second. I don't know. I really have no idea how I'm going to make this a short video. It's going to be more than a half an hour. Let me just tell you that. Don't go to Florida. Florida's economy is sinking too. But anyway, there are enough people that understand what fascism is. I know, I've been worried that there aren't enough, but there are enough. There's a a whole generation that we're starting to lose that remember the 30s and 40s, well, or that were close enough to the 30s and 40s that they know what it is. There are enough people, yeah, there are enough people that kind of know what it is. And you know what? Yeah, thanks for mentioning Ben Mysalis too. Because people get on Ben's case, I know they do, for being too passionate. Well, this isn't going to go away with just like, well, we'll see, let's just be nice. What did he do? We have to know so we can call them out and stop the lies. Absolutely. And with the advent of AI and this stupid ruling from this judge in Louisiana that says the government can't check misinformation. Actually, let's read on that. That the government can't, like if we, for instance, if we have a global pandemic, God forbid, right? Let's not that again, but it could happen. That the government wouldn't be able to stop misinformation. Thank you, Kim. I am being myself. I don't know who else to be. I've tried being other people, but it doesn't work. Not really, I'm just saying that. So, yeah. We're going to go to Biden in a second. So anyway, let's just do this. We have to call it out. What's going to happen with that? I'm going to read on this too. Here's the deal. Yeah, that commercial is pure bull and propaganda. It's pure projection. What's interesting to me, and I am going to read on this, is that this judge in Louisiana that had some kind of, I don't know. Hey, Yogi Bear. Some kind of law that says that the government, the United States government, cannot check social media for dangerous misinformation, which allows dangerous misinformation to come in freely. And you know how corrupt people's minds can get. Yes, we know. Think QAnon. All this dangerous misinformation, propaganda that would mess with people's minds will be allowed to come in freely to corrupt people's minds and corrupt the elections. So I wonder, my question is, and I'll read on that with the second 3 cards that I pulled. My question is, are they working for our enemy countries? Does anyone know that judge's name? I'm not afraid. Don't you be afraid. It's just the air, literally, the air is very heavy. Okay. Actually, the strength of our legal system will put an end to that. The strength of our government will put an end to that stupid ruling. Yeah. Judge Doty. Thank you, Kathy. I actually see the law, I see that being thrown out. It's one judge. One judge! Trump appointee, of course, right? Oh, definitely. One judge. And when you look at the Supreme Court, 5, 6 justices do irreparable damage. Oh, the ruling is legally wrong, and Kathy Beale, our resident astrologer, is a lawyer. So, yeah, well, that's exactly what I'm getting. The strength of the United States is going to override that. We need sunshine. The Queen of Rods, yeah, I actually see his brain is cookie dough. Doty's brain is cookie dough. I totally agree with you. This gives me hope. He's going to receive a message that this cannot fly, but it really shouldn't be. That should not be in effect right now. That should not be in effect right now. Joy Reid calls Florida decent. DeSantis. What does she call him? DeSantison? Stan? That's hard to say. What happened to the, oh, thank you for asking. What happened to the donate button is, YouTube needed more verification from me, and it's in the process. Thank you for bringing that up. It's in the process of being approved. See, YouTube's driving me a little crazy. Love you guys. But there's a lot of things that are jumping around and changing, and that's one. But thank you for asking. It should be back by Wednesday. How long will that silly law hold? 1 month? Will it be less than 1 month? I'm getting it will be less than 1 month. Gloria saw a video today on Midas Touch showing Republicans fighting with each other. That's what's starting to happen. Always blessed, love, spend Marcellus's rants. Good. We're all different, right? Oh no! Oh, look! The hourglass is going, the half hourglass is going down. I better rush. Next, I'm going to read on all these horrible rulings that allow our enemies to have free reign over our country. Okay, so I'm going to read what Kathy's saying, because she's the lawyer and the astrologer. The appeal process goes to 3-judge panel, and then the loser could appeal to the whole circuit. Okay? And I want everyone to take a moment right now before I pull cards on this next issue, which I'll remind you what it is. Take a moment right now of gratitude. I posted this on my community page. A moment of gratitude that we have an experienced professional as President of the United States, representing the United States on the world stage, because if we had the alternative guy, we might not be here. Right? We might not be here. We are up against these existential crises, but we're going to be okay. Joe Biden has kept the country together, and I would go so far as to say that Joseph R. Biden has kept the world together. And I won't go into gory details, but honestly, go dark, Brandon, go. Yeah. Amen. Alright, we're going to pull 3 cards about, are these judges and such? Well, I think they are indirectly. Are they being influenced by our enemies? These judges with these horrible rulings, including the Supreme Court, are they being influenced by enemy countries? Thank you for Joe. Got a lot of Joe Biden fans here, of course. Because, you know, just, it's human nature to want to survive. Oh yeah, it's the enemy countries, yeah. And actually, the more exposed they become, the more vulnerable they become, and I mean the corrupt judges. All over this country. The media was going crazy because who was wearing no socks? Obama or Biden? My goodness, I don't have socks on. It's summer. They had a problem with Biden not having socks on? Was he at the beach? I don't know. Anyway, so the question I'm asking is it true that these corrupt judges are being influenced by our enemies? Biden was at the beach and he didn't have a shirt on? Oh dear, that's almost as bad as Obama's tan suit. The corrupt judges are definitely being influenced by our enemy countries, and now it's going to get very challenging for them. And the guys just said, with around the time of Putin's demise, that's what I just heard, it's going to be very challenging for them to keep up this corrupt jig, overall, in general. Oh no! Alright, halfway, it's 30 minutes. As when it goes halfway down, I have to be done. The 7 of Rods, yeah, actually this is a card. that's about fighting back with love, and love always wins. So the question was about the corrupt judges and justices, and are they being influenced by our enemy countries? Kremlin comes to mind. The answer is yes. It's getting really challenging for them to not be more and more and more exposed. And the American people will fight back with love for our country, and we will be okay. Which reminds me, 20 on Tuesdays tomorrow's Tuesday. We're back to last week was the 4th of July. I was busy promoting democracy and a parade. So sexy Brandon getting dark at the beach. I love it. We are going to meet again on Tuesdays. We just skipped last week because it was July 4th. We're going to meet again for our guided meditation for a healed America. Please come. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com to get your name on the email list. Oh, please hit the thumbs up and thank you. Okay. I'm going to pick 3 cards on Florida. Three cards on Florida. Oh, thank you. Church of Spirituality yesterday. If you're not watching Church of Spirituality, you're missing out on a lot of positivity and inspiration. So definitely check out Church of Spirituality. And on Mondays, I'm going to be working on marketing a lot more. I'm going to spend a lot of time on Mondays working on marketing so we can get some more viewers. Yeah, the seagulls were really loud earlier. They agreed. Okay. Florida. This is what I get about Florida. You like when I channel Sister Mary Margaret? That's not going to happen again till October. Thank you, Pia. And thanks for coming to Church of Spirituality. Oh, I see 161 thumbs up, Amanda. You're probably not seeing what I'm seeing, but thank you for looking out for me. Florida. This is Florida, the people in Florida crying out for help. This is the people of Florida crying out for help. This is Joe Biden saying, we'll help you. Seriously, I'm totally serious. And the strength of our government now under Joe Biden is going to pull Florida out of the ditch that it's falling into right now as we speak. Because every single day, Ron DeFascist passes another fascist law. And the Moms for Liberty down there and the domestic terrorist extremist groups, whoa boy. The government's, I get the government's going to have to step in. People are going to leave Florida. People are leaving Florida. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Watched my church yesterday. 38 minutes. We have less than 10 minutes left to go. Florida's going to be hurting so bad that the federal government is going to have to swoop in and help. Now, let me, well, if I'm talking, I wasn't thinking about this. I was thinking more about the economy and the hardship. Because it's amazing that Ron DeFascist is standing up there going, oh, well, Florida's great. And he literally said the economy in Florida is great. While immigrants are leaving because they're afraid of getting arrested that are picking the produce. Right? Thanks for all your support. I was telling people 2-3 years ago, do not move to Florida because of the dark cloud I saw over it. Am I picking up like the federal government helping Florida? Is it because of weather disasters? Yes, it's because of weather disasters. And Earth Mama heard the Democrats in Florida are picking it up. That's good. That's great news. Florida's a great state. Yeah, Ron DeFascist did not win. Let's remember. We've been talking about that. We hit on that a few times. He didn't win. He like changed, he redistricted the heck, he suppressed the vote. Well, me oh my, it's 5 more minutes, so I'm gonna pick a question that you asked me, the one that jumps out the most in terms of, yeah, we need to read on that. Okay, ready? Go! My whiteboard got erased. I just want to say, Spiritual Summer School, the absolute deadline to enroll, I can't even hold this up. I smudged the whole thing. If you want to jump in, even though it's late, we do have a recording of Class 1. We cover meditation, divination, stones and crystals, pendulum dowsing, the tarot, mediumship, and more. So if you'd like to sign up for Spiritual Boot Camp, you can do that at psychicannettedion.com. Church of Spirituality, every Sunday at 1. We live stream 1 Eastern Time. 20 on Tuesdays, I already mentioned that. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com, please join us. All you have to do is get on the email list and you'll get all the information. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. And if you'd like a psychic tarot reading, or a tea leaf reading, psychicannettedion.com. There was my quick commercial. So now we're going to pull 3 cards on the collective, unless somebody puts a question up there that we absolutely must answer. That took 500 sand grains. Okay. 6 more minutes. That's funny. Good one, Thomas. Podcast, I don't have it scheduled yet, but Kathy's in the chat, and I'm thinking about the 18th. Maria loved Spiritual Summer School. It's not too late to sign up. This commercial is brought to you via Dark Biden. I bet you, Dark Brandon, I bet you Joe Biden really does turn that around too, just like he turned around Bidenomics to mean a positive thing. Just for those of you who didn't know, I'm shortening my videos because my numbers took a big nosedive, and I'm trying different things. The 18th would work for you? Right after the new moon? Okay, I'll ask the boys in the studio. Well, I'm thinking about it. There's a plan for it, me to be live streaming a little concert that I'm doing on Saturday, so I'll keep you posted about that. Sweden and NATO. Is that a question? Wait. It's Finland that got in, right? Joe Biden wants to wait until we find out what's going to happen, like with Ukraine winning the war. They're in, right? Yeah, but they were already in, right? I mean, they just got in recently. Somebody's excited about it. Joanne's excited about it. Okay. So the reason that we are not letting Ukraine into NATO yet is Sweden was given the go to, yes, that's great. So just in case you don't understand it, the reason that Ukraine is not being let into NATO yet is because of the contract, which is that where one goes, we all go, right? And that would mean that these other countries would all be at war with Russia, and that wouldn't look too good. Afterwards, okay. So, you guys are awesome, really looking out for me. I really appreciate it. With the numbers, thanks. All right, I'm going to pick 3 cards to just read for the collective. What we need to know. Oh, Pinocchio, he's going to jail. Cards for the collective. The DOJ is moving in. This week we're going to hear about subpoenas. The Empress is the United States is on top. The Five of Pentacles is the Republicans are getting pretty beat up. That might be literal. When I think of Bo Bird and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Some South African nations want to join NATO. That might take some time. Pinocchio is Trump, and Trump is Putin. Amanda, why the question mark? I was just about to bring it to an end. Ah, man, I thought McCarthy would be out by now. He must have done some kind of a deal. Time is hard to predict. Is Kevin McCarthy going to be ousted? That's a yes. Welcome to NATO, Sweden. Yes. Okay, we're good. I didn't know if you had a question, Amanda. It's really weird to make the video shorter. But I'm making the video shorter. And I appreciate you being here so much. Thumbs up. Please book a reading. I'm also a spiritual life coach. I don't know why I always forget to tell you, but if you want your life to change for the better, number one, for free, watch Church of Spirituality because it's very useful information. And two, you could sign on for spiritual life coaching. I call it the Accelerated Growth Program. I've been doing it for years and years and years. And if you feel stuck and you need a kick, you need an energetic spiritual kick, psychic.annetteDion.com. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and we'll see you soon. And I love you so much, more than you will ever know. Namaste. Be good to yourselves. Pray for the earth. See ya.